Okay, so Megan is ready. She's going to join us live now and fill us in a little bit more about what people out there are saying. Again, this is Megan, I believe, a family member of a student or staff who is out there at this time.
Yes, that's correct, Shanu. Media is just speaking to a father who has come on scene. He tells us that his son, Xander, a sophomore here at Perry High School, was grazed by a bullet this morning. I believe he said while walking in the hallway. He mentioned that at 7:36 this morning, which was actually before we got that confirmation about the active shooter scene here in Perry. He mentioned that his son texted him saying, "Dad, I hear gunshots," and his father called him right away, of course, heading up here to the high school and trying to respond to this situation. His son mentioned that a friend next to him was also shot. His son, he says, was just grazed by a bullet. So it's unclear right now if he was injured, if he was taken by an ambulance. His father really doesn't have any answers, nor do we, about the situation. But he is on scene now talking with reporters about the experience with his son. His son also sent a picture from inside the school, which we are working to get from him right now. I was just speaking with him before this, and I'm working to get that for you right now as well. But this is the first that we're hearing from somebody in the school, from a student in the school, and from the parent of that student, saying that they did indeed hear gunshots this morning. Shots were fired, according to this student. Again, he said that he was grazed by a bullet, I believe, along his hip, and that a friend next to him was shot as well. And his son mentioned that they then, after this happened, went to go hide in a classroom. It's unclear if he's still in the school. He is trying desperately to get in contact with his son right now. I believe his son is not responding at the moment.
And Megan, did this father just come up to the scene now, or has he been out there for a little while now? Because you mentioned it appears his son is still in the school. His son reported to him that he was grazed by a bullet, was inside the school, heard the gunshots. Is he just now getting to the scene, or has he been hanging out there for a while waiting to get answers?
Shanu, I'm not 100% positive how long he's been here on the scene, but he is open and willing to speak with reporters right now, sharing photos with us and also sharing those text messages between him and his son. Again, a sophomore here at Perry High School who says he was grazed by a bullet. This was actually before school was set to start this morning. He says that his son comes into school early and was here early. Of course, this being the first day of the semester after the winter break for these students here at Perry High School. So I'm not 100% sure how long he's been here on the scene, but I'm working to speak with him and get more information. Again, working to get that text thread between him and his son. Again, at 7:36 a.m., his son texted him saying, "Dad, I heard gunshots fired," something along those lines. And it was after that his father came up to the school here, of course, looking for more information and trying to make sure that his son was okay.
Yeah, that is, I'm sure more and more parents will probably start showing up to the school, or if they're not already there, trying to figure out what is happening at this time. Megan, have you seen any, besides law enforcement, have you seen any staff or students walk out of the school at all since you've been there?
I'm going to take a look behind me here, Chanu. I have seen some people exiting the school. This is Perry Middle School behind us. That is the school that we're in front of right now, and I believe the high school is to the left here. I have seen some people, but I believe it is law enforcement officials that have been walking out of the school. I have not seen any, students or teachers or parents coming out of the school at this time. All I can see behind me right now is just a very active scene with lots of law enforcement, again, from all over the state responding to this scene right now with those lights flashing. We've also seen some ambulances as well. As I mentioned to you guys earlier, when I was driving up here this morning, there were several ambulances passing me going southbound away from Perry after the situation took place. So again, it's unclear how many people have been injured, but based on this father's account, it is clear that gunshots were fired and there is a strong potential that students have been fired at.
Yeah, so we'll continue to follow that, Megan. I'm sure you will be talking to more families and people affected out there. Again, we do have that press conference coming up in half an hour with law enforcement. So we look forward to some more answers and confirmed information out of that press conference. Thank you, Megan.